Good morning. How are you guys this morning? Let me see here, make sure I'm in the camera. Thought you'd like to watch me work on, let me get rid of some of the shadow. Work on, yeah, that helps. Let me turn on the light on this side. There we go. And here. That should help a little. How are we doing up there? I hope y'all can see this. Sorry for the shake. It'll stop in a second. Okay. Let's see. Get you on my iPad here. How are you guys doing this morning? I thought I'd pop on here real quick and kind of give you a little glimpse into some more of this painting. Yesterday, at parts 1 and 2, we mapped out the owl, the fence posts, and in part 1 we did the background. Now this is not going to be the final background. This is just my foundation layer. I tend to work through the whole painting in layers. And what I'm going to do here real quick, and I'll be back this afternoon I think. What I'm going to do here real quick is pull in some sepia, and I'm going to start mapping out my brush. It's winter time, so it's pretty much sticks. Okay, while I'm thinking about this, I want to think compositionally when I put these in. I can't show you the reference photo for this painting. However, you can go to the link in the description and look for Milan. Sorry, I can't pronounce the last name, the photographer, in the Facebook group, Free Reference Photos for Artists. And you can do a quick search under his name or short-eared owl, and you should be able to come up with this image or another owl that you would like to paint. And the reason for that's the copyright. They have wonderful photographers on that in that group. And as such, these do not need to be perfect. We're just mapping these little guys in right now. These are actually coming from this side of the hill. There's a drop off right here. I want to make sure that these are coming from this side. I need a new brush. Okay. Throw in some leaves there. We'll shade this and highlight it in a little while because they're going to be thicker. I'm putting them in a little thin. That leaves room for us to highlight one side. Okay. These things are kind of windblown a little bit there. There we go. Kind of give you some idea of, we don't want a lot of detail. This is back behind the bird. Just kind of filling in some leaves there. They're not true to the image, or the reference photo, I should say. I take what's in the reference photo here. Sometimes I use my own images, but for this purpose, since I'm practicing, I'm using someone else's reference, as I explained earlier. And the reason for this is because I thought it was gorgeous. Okay, these will get more defined later. I need to remember where the end of my photo is here. It's right here. My image. Okay. Now these are going to look like they're floating right now. We don't have shadows or anything like that in here. Let's see. Let's go get some more sepia. I don't want to put these in too thick yet. I want to make sure I preserve highlights and things like that. There we go. And I'm just putting in the gist of what I'm seeing. Kind of just drawing it out as we go here. Okay, here I'm gonna put a little mesh of some leaves and branches. That's just the idea of it. Okay, I'm gonna come down here. I'm going to put in, let's go this way. Not everything should be that way. Okay. Now I'll refine these as we go. I just want to make sure I know where they are before I work any more on the background. Okay, we have should probably use my liner brush for this one. Tends to hold a little more water. Okay. I want this to go well in here and up. Okay, we have other little branches and things. This gives me an idea of where I want it. Okay. Let's have right there. And let's see here. We have all this up here. I need more right in here. I like to have the triangle kind of filled out. I will have lots of little triangles compositionally in my, it just keeps the eye moving when they're looking at the image. So this is not going to be exactly like the reference photo because compositionally I would like some extra stuff. Now keep in mind, this goes to there. Okay. That's enough to keep me going there for a little while. Let's come back here. We have one here that goes there. These do not have leaves on them, but they do have little knots and things like that that I'll put in later. Okay, and then I want to make sure I go below my line where the frame's going to be. This actually comes up here, and we have lots of little guys coming off of it that I'll add more later. There. Okay. Let's see. I want to make sure that I leave room to do my detail there. That gives me an idea where the bush is. There's another one that comes out and goes up here, but I don't think I want to, well, no. Let's put in this big one. There's going to be right about here, and he goes here, and kind of curves over here. Now, the original has them touching the owl. I don't want that. Not a fan of that. Let's see. And I'll add the little branches later. We have lots more branches that come off. I wanted to make sure I got that little guy. Let's keep in mind I need there. There we go. And how about a little guy that stays here and goes up there. Now that came out too thick, but that's okay. We'll brush some of that off into the fence post. And if you choose, I'll just show you this, you can lift it up too. And the bulk of that will be worked into the tree, not the tree, the fence post. So, let's see. I know that bush is going to go all out here, and there's going to be all kinds of stuff there, but I do want to wait to add that. Let's do back here. I know that back here, I'm going to want a bunch of scribbly goop here. It's going to be a little pile of brush when it's all said and done. For now, it's just a goop. There we go. All right. There are quite a bit that go back here that are very blurry that I'm going to wait to put in. Okay, there are a lot of branches I have not put in yet. This just gives me an idea of where I'm going compositionally with this. Let's see, I have about 10 more minutes before I need to cut this short. Let's get rid of this brush. Let's add, where's my, that one's a little big. Do I have a smaller one? Yes, I do. I'm going with, oh, I said that was smaller. They're actually the same brush. How did I end up with two of those? Okay. I'm gonna dip in here. And there was a little color mixed in there from splashes. That's okay. What I want to do is just start layering in. This is watered down. There's a lot of water on my brush. I don't want it opaque. But I do want to start layering in some of the snow. Let's see here. And this will give a nice contrast with the translucent and semi-translucent colors that I have used so far, paints. I've diluted this down so much, it's not really that opaque. Alright, now a little of this goes a long way because like I said, I don't want to use it as a true gouache. Oops, that's alright, I'll fix that later. Okay, let's see, I do need my line here, just kind of defined. Okay, from the base of the tail here, you can come on out. You can see I've drawn more here. Now my goal is not just to replicate the picture I have. Matter of fact, when I take my own references, I tend to shoot the images specifically with the goal of getting sharpness in the areas of the wildlife. that I want to paint so that I can see detail. I'm not going to put all the detail in there, but I do want to see it so that when it comes time for me to work my composition, I make sure that I have parts of every species that allow me to be able to let someone who knows the difference between, say, an eastern screech owl and a western screech owl, they're able to tell. Now, occasionally you get a species that no matter what you do, that's not going to happen. But let's see, see how easy that is to fix when you go over a line there. There we go. This is fairly dry paper, so I can do that. And I am doing wet on dry technique right now is what this is called. Earlier for the background you saw me, or the basis of the background, you saw me working wet on wet a little. Okay. These stay pretty dark over there. Get some more water. I don't want this too thick. There we go. I'll bring that back out later. Okay, it's easy to paint the gouache over the watercolor, but when you paint layers of watercolor over the gouache, you do need to be careful, because once it's dry, it will still lift easily compared to true watercolor. I call it true watercolor. So when I go back over these, you use one brush stroke, clean your brush, or yeah, clean your brush and then one brush stroke back over. Otherwise the white will mix into your watercolor that you're trying to paint. Okay, well, how much time do I have? I have 2 or 3 more minutes. Is there anything else I want on here? Let's do a little bit of gouache up here in the top. Let's see. This is actually not snow. It's, well, some of it is. Some of it's just the white of this winter sky. I'm just mixing this all over the place here. There we go. Is that white too? Yeah, I forgot I filled up 2 pans with white. I think I was running to the end of the tube and just wanted to make sure. Okay, I'm gonna go create just a few of these. And once this dries, you really won't be able to see this layer. It takes quite a few layers for this to build up. I do want to prevent some of these hard edges though, because gouache, even thin, will leave lines if you're not careful. And this is not the space I want the lines. Okay. Well, doesn't look like we got a lot done, but we really did. You just can't see the white. And this is basically the foundation. What I'll do when we come back is I'll probably slowly build up the gouache in the areas I put it for the snow. And we're going to start working on these guys and getting them in so that I can get the rest of the brush in. Okay, I'll see you either this afternoon or tomorrow, and we'll get this painting going. Y'all have a good day.